The Anfield era of Arne Slot's reign is up and running after a very comfortable 2-0 victory against Brentford. Liverpool looked very composed, and while they didn't play that heavy metal football that we have been accustomed to during the Jurgen Klopp reign, we now have Arne Slot football. Arne Slot football is much more subtle. It is possession-based. It is not as direct, but it is very effective. There were some differences that I noticed during the Jurgen Klopp era and the new Arne Slot reign that I might touch on in this video. Not a lot, though, because they were completely dominant against Brentford. And while Brentford did stay in the game long enough to be able to try and cause Liverpool some problems, a 2-0 victory was not flattering at all to Liverpool. It could have been more, and Liverpool's play was extremely efficient. What's up, guys? It's your boy Izzy, and as always, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and the subscribe button to let YouTube and everybody else know that you're enjoying this content. What we did enjoy today was slot football. And one of the things that I noticed, a big difference between Slot and Jurgen Klopp, was that Slot wants to have a little bit more control on the game. Now, the English football right now has been dominated by Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola, and both of them favor a very controlled possession type of football. And while Jurgen Klopp was a good disruptor in the 9 years that he was at Liverpool with heavy metal, heavy pressing football, it was a welcome change to see Liverpool more composed on the ball. Not that they weren't composed under Jurgen Klopp, but they tend to be more pensive, and some of the football that they played in this game was scintillating. There was some movement in the Brentford half that was magical, and Liverpool should have been rewarded with far more goals than they got today. It was complete domination, especially in the second half. The first half was a little bit of a toss-up, some good chances from Brentford. They did make a few flurries into the Liverpool half, and I think that's what Thomas Frank was trying to talk about when he said that he thought that it was a game of two halves. I thought it wasn't. I thought that Liverpool had complete control from the first minute all the way to the end. We did see a little bit of the remnants of Jurgen Klopp football, especially in the transitional play, which Liverpool are, in my opinion, the most effective at. A breakaway from the Brentford corner was immaculate and led to the goal that Diaz thumped right into the Brentford goal. But it was wonderful to watch just how composed Diogo Jota is in transition. The way that Diaz was able to cut through the Brentford defense, and the way they almost telepathically knew where each other was going to be positioned, because Diaz cut right in front of Jota, and Jota didn't wait too long before he released the ball. It was something that caught Brentford completely off guard, and the fact that Liverpool had been a little bit more pensive in their play showed that they are confident enough to hold on to the ball, but they're not afraid to revert back to what they know and what they know how to do best, which is transitional play. And I don't think there's anybody in the Premier League that is better than Liverpool when it comes to transitional football. The breakaway from that corner kick was immaculate. Furthermore, when you look at some of the play that Liverpool had in that first half, some of the interplay between Salah and Jota and Diaz was beautiful. Liverpool went into halftime 1-0 up, and they were deserving of that lead, even though Thomas Frank did not think that there was much in the way of difference between the two sides. I think that Liverpool were far the better side in that first half. And in the second half, there was no question. Liverpool were the stronger side, and they were able to double their lead after some composed finishing from Mohamed Salah. He was able to dance away from the Brentford defense and just perfectly curl that ball into the back of the net. He seems a little bit more free, and even with his celebration, some people have noticed that he seems a lot more expressive with his Archer celebration, which is good to see for Liverpool fans and is good to see for him, because it seems like he is enjoying his football. So maybe the difference between Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp is that Mo Salah has a little bit more freedom, and with somebody who's as mercurial as he is, maybe that's what he's been asking for. I did speak about overcoaching in football these days. I don't think Jurgen Klopp was the type of person to overcoach. He actually strikes me more as the opposite. He tends to be somebody who allows his Mavericks to do what they want to do in the game. But Mo Salah does seem as though he has a new lease on life, and only time will tell. He seems to be enjoying slot football, and for Liverpool and football fans alike, long may it be, because we need as many people to try and combat the Manchester City and Arsenal football. For those who are against that type of football, you want something that's different overall in the league. But Liverpool were composed. Some of their play was beautiful in that second half, and I do see them as a legitimate problem for the rest of the Premier League. I still do have them as an outside chance of a champion this season. I think that there's no reason for them to not be able to be a disruptor in the league. And while most people rightfully have Manchester City and Arsenal as their favorites, because those have been the top two for the last couple of seasons, there's nothing to suggest that Liverpool won't be in that top four. And next week they face Manchester United. That's going to be a crunch game. It's going to be at Old Trafford. Manchester United are wounded after that defeat to Brighton yesterday. And we know that Manchester United was the genesis to Liverpool's title failure last season when they knocked them out of the FA Cup. And that draw at Old Trafford was something that punctured a little bit of their egos towards the end. That was almost the beginning of the train slowing down, because Liverpool were very high on emotion. We all understand that Jurgen Klopp's departure after 9 years, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're in an organization, if you have a manager or a supervisor who you look up to and you have so much respect for, and who has embodied a lot of the traits that you love in that company, when that person departs, it's going to be very hard to get over that. And they tried to give him a trophy at the end. It only ended up being the Carabao Cup, but the Premier League, which is what they really wanted to give him, because he deserved it. I think that Jurgen Klopp deserved another title during his time at Liverpool, but such was the class that Manchester City have had over the last 4 years. And if you look at it at the grander scheme, ever since Jurgen Klopp seriously started challenging for the title in about 2017, 2018, Manchester City have been a juggernaut that we have all been too afraid to attack. But overall, I think Liverpool were great, and this is maybe a little bit of a light into what we're going to see them try and play for the rest of the season. Their composed attacking football was great to see, but also the composure that they showed in trying to break down Brentford, because Brentford didn't make it easy for them. And 2-0 scoreline, I think, was the right result. It didn't flatter Liverpool, and it didn't hit Brentford too bad, because Brentford did not play badly. Liverpool were just a class ahead. So that's my thoughts for the game today. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I think Liverpool were great. I think they're going to be somewhere up there. I don't know exactly how close they're going to be to Arsenal and Manchester City, but they are the joker. For each and every title race, there is a team that you can't put your finger on 100% where they're going to be. I don't think Liverpool are going to fall any lower than number 4. At least those are my early impressions after seeing them in the preseason match against Manchester United, and also in the first couple of games. While they are definitely winnable games, and Liverpool should have won both games by the margin that they did, and you would argue that against Ipswich, especially towards the end, they should have won it by a larger margin. Liverpool are looking good. Liverpool should cause some problems for the rest of the league, and I think that they are far and away comfortably the third best team in the league. And in some respects, depending on how well Slot is able to adapt them to the rest of the season, who knows? They might be the best team or the second best team. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. It was a great game to watch. It's been your boy Izzy. Thank you for watching, and as always, until the next one, peace.